Hi guys. It is. Hi guys. Well, first issue, I did not realize that I was going to be sideways. So, just checking some stuff here. Oh, yes. I am sideways. Great. Okay, hold on. So, this is a little issue. Okay, let me see what to do here. Hold on with me. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. Okay, well, you can see me just fine, but let's see the area that I'm going to be working in. Not exactly what I wanted. Okay, so I'm obviously going to have to get some help for next time on figuring out how to... Let's see. So this will be the practice round. Okay, my iPad does not want to sit like this. So we're going to hope for the best. We're just going to leave it here and then hope for the best. Okay, and you can probably see in the background, hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. My husband's computer's running too. Okay, so I turned his speakers off so that you don't have to listen to me in, you know, I don't know, whatever, in stereo. So the you can probably see now in the background some things I didn't want you to see, but that's where I was working on something new. The grater that's in the background, that is for a new recipe that I am going to show you. And while I wait to see, you know, who else we've got coming, this is something new that I've been working on today. And these were inspired by Suzanne and Karen, who have been playing with their Kodiak cakes and Suzanne's original ingredients, and it's a recipe of Suzanne's that I hope to be putting up later. But I used something a little bit different, and I'll be showing you all later how to make these. But just know it's coming soon. This rendition it's a donut, obviously, and it's zucchini and banana, and it's made with a different kind of a protein powder than the Kodiak cakes. It's one that I found at Whole Foods, and I'll be showing it to you later. But it does have just a little bit of chocolate chips in it, and we're going to try and solve that chocolate chip debate that Karen was having yesterday. But for today, that's what all this in the background is that you can see. That's everything I was getting ready for that. But for today, what we're going to do is we're going to make an egg mug. And first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my farm fresh egg ready. The rest of the ingredients I already have sitting out here. Let me just wipe off my hands real quick. Cracked a little bit better than I thought it was going to. Can you all hear me okay? Can everybody hear what I'm saying? Okay, I turned my volume down, so I have no idea how loud I am. But egg mugs are what started this frenzy for me, and I love them dearly, and I eat them often. And so I have a lot of people that ask me, you know, how do you make egg mugs? So I'll turn it back to this because I was really getting tired of just looking at this stuff. But anyway, a lot of people ask me, you know, how do you make an egg mug? And it seems so simple to me, and then I realized people don't know how to make them. So anyway, we're going to make my favorite, which is a BLT egg mug. And we eat these a lot because my husband loves bacon, and well, I love bacon, and everybody loves bacon. But I make all different kinds of them. We make regular egg mugs. We make, obviously, the BLT egg mug. We make one with the sriracha barbecue sauce from Trader Joe's. That's a barbecue BLT egg mug. We make tzatziki egg mugs. We make, I made one with scoodles the other day, and the scoodles, in case y'all didn't know, are zucchini noodles or squash noodles, and they were really good in it. It's a little bit watery, so you have to cook them a little bit longer. I do a very veggie egg mug, but if you want to see any of those, I have some clever placement here because, you know, I'm so smart like this. Look, let me just sneak it into the picture here. So if you want full details on how to make one of these, or you need more instructions, or if you want to see some other ideas, please visit www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. That website is a labor of love for me. That is something that I started, gosh, it's probably been a year ago now, when my husband said, oh, I want to have what we had last Thursday again or whatever. And I was like, what did we have last Thursday? I have no idea what you're talking about. So I started writing the recipes down. And my mom actually found my very first recipe the other day. It was written on a paper plate of all things. So we kept it for the archives, you know, because my great-great-grandchildren are going to want to see this paper plate that has my first recipe written on it. But anyway, so egg mugs are what started it all. So I wanted to show y'all how to make one. So turn it back around again. And I've also very Martha Stewart-ish-y put everything in little bowls, and that made a fun trip to World Market, which my husband was extremely excited about. But I told him, honey, we have to do it. It's for the egg mugs. So the first thing we're going to do then is move that. I want you to take a crock, some kind of a bowl. These are the crocks that I like to use and use the most often. I got this at a little store here in Knoxville called Home Goods. I'm sure they have them other places. You just need any kind of a crock. Any kind of a crock, an oven-safe dish, even though we're going to be cooking it in the microwave, it's going to get pretty hot, so you want it to be, you know, safe for that. Use some cooking spray. You don't have to go crazy with it. The first thing you're going to do is add your non-egg ingredients. So for the BLT Egg Mug, I've got, you know, quite a bit of spinach. This is just fresh baby spinach. Sometimes I use kale and do put quite a bit in there because the microwaving is going to shrink it way down. A lot of the moisture is going to come out. And then, even though, say I called it a BLT, but it's really like a BL, what would that be? A BLS, because it's got spinach instead of, no, it would be a BST because it's bacon, spinach, and tomato, but you get the drift. So here's tomatoes, just little diced up, little grape tomatoes that I got at Trader Joe's, and then also some chopped up portobello mushrooms. I like to add portobello mushrooms to almost all of these because it bulks it up a whole lot, and, you know, it really, you know, fills me up. So just remember, these are all non-egg ingredients so far. This is 1 tablespoon of Trader Joe's fat-free ricotta cheese. I have no idea if anybody else makes fat-free ricotta cheese. I've never seen it anywhere else. I've never looked for it anywhere else, but I use this in a lot of my recipes. So that's the Trader Joe's fat-free ricotta cheese. That's what a tablespoon looks like. And if you all are attending meetings, 2 weeks ago we talked about what things look like when you measure them out, and sometimes it's more than you think it is. This is a tablespoon of crumbled bacon. So that's like the star of the show. Even though it's an egg mug, the crumbled bacon is the star of the show. The crumbled bacon that I use, I get at Costco, and it's just the Kirkland brand. It's already cooked crumbled bacon. If you have a Sam's near you instead, Sam's has the Hormel brand. That's what I used until I got a Costco membership. So I'm just going to lightly toss all that together. Doesn't have to be perfectly blended, but notice again, these are non-egg ingredients. We have not put any eggs in here yet. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to walk around, and you're probably going to get to see my still big rear end, and we're going to pop it in the microwave. And I'm going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. So that shouldn't kill any of you to wait too long, you know, to wait 30 seconds for that. So let's see. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I'm just doing some other. Doing some other technical things here just to see how this is going. Okay, so 30 seconds seems like a lot longer when you're waiting on it, when there's dead air space. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab that. Oh, and I've seen on a couple of things people talking about doing these in a glass mug and then taking them to work. And while I think the glass mug is probably a great idea for simplicity's sake, this is hot. This crock is very hot on the bottom. I can't even imagine if you cooked that whole thing in a glass mug, how hot that would be. So, let's see. Oh, Suzanne, the light ricotta I use is 0 SP. So if you can't find it, maybe look for a light one. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Thanks, Lisa. So Trader Joe's is the only place you can get the fat-free ricotta cheese. Yeah. So exactly. And you're only using a tablespoon of it. So again, if it's a light one, if a tablespoon is 1 point, you know, you can just add 1 point to it. This is ridiculously low in points. The way I'm making it, it's only going to be 3 because we've got 2 points for the egg and we have 1 point for the crumbled bacon. So, but anyway, so back on those glass mugs, you know, putting them in the glass mug, I just don't see how that would, I don't know. I know I would end up burning myself. So I always make them in the crocks. And if you notice, I usually have well, you don't notice, you don't see me in the mornings, but I use a crock that has handles on it. So I'm not touching the bottom of it. So now I've just sort of whisked up the egg. And these are eggs from my friend Bobby that I work with. She calls her chickens her girls. And her girls laid these eggs for me. And they laid some beautiful brown ones and some beautiful white ones. And one of them, I guess it's not in this carton, one of them is round. And then this is an 1/8 of a cup of egg. Whoop, hold on. Yep, more technical difficulties. So this is an 1/8 of a cup of egg whites. And I prefer the Trader Joe's egg whites. But they did not have them this time. Apparently when there are issues, you know, with chickens, that's one of the first things Trader Joe's pulls off the market. That and their hard-boiled eggs. They'll pull those pretty fast if there's any issues in the market. Okay, so let me try and get my iPad steadied here again so that I can walk off and leave it. Come on, iPad, cooperate. So obviously for next time, I'm going to have to come up with some different plan of action. No, not me. Still the egg mug. Okay, so let's try this for a minute. So now, you all are going to have to listen to me talk for a minute because now we're going to put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. My microwave, the microwave where we are in the loft and the microwave from the house that we just left, both microwaves, it was 2 minutes. I know I've got friends that, and hopefully you can hear me over the microwave, but I know I have friends that some of their microwaves cook a little bit faster than others, and so it'll be like a minute, minute and a half. I've got one friend that hers is her microwave's kind of dying, so hers is like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. So she's having to go, you know, a little bit farther, but I would start out with about 1.5 to 2 minutes and see how it turns out. And if it's a little bit runny, you know, you can always stick it back in for 30-second increments to, you know, to add to the time. You can't take away from the time is the thing. So start with less, work your way up, and you'll figure it out pretty quick. It wasn't hard, you know, it wasn't hard to figure out. So while we wait for another 1:17, do y'all have any questions? Because there's like 6 of you here, which is exciting because it's my first one. And you have to endure my technical difficulties. So let's see, what can we talk about? Well, let's go back to these while you, oh wait, you can't see them. Okay, I'll put them over here. Let's talk a bit about these while we're waiting. So, yes, I've already eaten 2 of them, and they're 2 points each, and yes, I wrote it down, but the stuff that I used when I was looking for the cocoa that Suzanne used, I found this at Whole Foods, and it is, I cannot read it backwards, Birch Benders, 16 grams of protein, and Karen in our group had used Kodiak cakes to make some waffles that Suzanne created, and they looked yummy, so I was trying to find that. Anyway, I found this. It's 5 smart points, and it's also 5 points plus for 1/2 of a cup. I used this, 1/2 of a very ripe banana, and 1/2 of a cup of zucchini, a little bit of water, and then I used 1 tablespoon of some chocolate dream chocolate chips, and they don't have any milk in them, so it's like It's 2 smart points. I haven't figured out the points plus yet, but it's 2 smart points for 1 tablespoon or 4 smart points for 2 tablespoons. So I'll show you all those later. But anyway, so sounds like the microwave has gone off. So one last look at these. Look, can you see them? These were so good. Thank you, Suzanne, for creating this frenzy. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the egg mug and I'll be right back. So you all just talk amongst yourselves for a moment. And my poor husband evacuated the building because I kept saying, oh, I'm gonna be, oh wait, what did you get to look at? Nothing, okay. This is part of the loft. So my husband was like, oh no, I do not want to be there when you're talking to them. And I was like, well, they're not gonna bite, honey. But he evacuated the building, he left. So let's look at what I'm gonna end up with here. Let's see, do you remember where you got the little crock? Dawn, yes. Well, I bought mine at, oops, you can't see the egg mug. I bought mine at a store in Knoxville called Home Goods. And Home Goods is kind of like, well, it's owned by the same people that own TJ Maxx, if you have a TJ Maxx. And really, really cute stuff. And I mean, I really like them. I get in trouble when I go in there, so I try not to go in there very often. But they had the little Crocs, and the little Crocs were made in Italy. But they also had some in at World Market. Now this that I'm going to sprinkle on here now, this is not on the recipe that's on the website, but I've started adding Bragg nutritional yeast to everything, just a sprinkle, just a little sprinkle of it. And I've been adding it to my eggs in the morning. This is chock full of B vitamins. This has like, I don't even remember what the percentage is, but you can see it's nutritious, great taste, vegetarian, sugar-free, salt-free, everything free. I still don't really even understand what it's made out of because it doesn't have anything bad for you in it. And it tastes like if panko and Parmesan had a baby. That's what it tastes like to me. And for, gosh, I think up to a tablespoon of it, it's still 0 points. But it adds just a little bit of a Parmesan cheese flavor to it. And then this is what I had my husband drive me to Gatlinburg, Tennessee to pick up. And yes, I know you can get it online. A couple of you found it on Amazon and a couple of other places. But this is the Dean Jacobs Italian bread dipping seasoning that I put on everything. We originally got it to try and recreate the bread dipping that they had at Macaroni Grill, because you know how at Macaroni Grill, if you all have one, they used to come around, and when they had that delicious hot bread that must have been 1,000,000 points that they would put at your table, then they would always pour out the little plate of olive oil and put they had a fresh, bread dipping seasoning they would put in it. Anyway, this stuff is the bomb. You found it in Canada, Suzanne? That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, and my husband's saying that since it was so hot in July at Disney this year, that he wants to go to Canada in July next year. So if we go to the part of Canada where you are, or where you are near or whatever, we'll have to come by and see you. I have no idea where he wants to go. He just said Canada. Okay, so while y'all look at that yumminess for a second, I'm going to go get a clean fork because I realized I used the fork that I had stirred the eggs with. So just a moment. Okay, so this is a finished egg mug. So you see, I made a delicious this breakfast, brunch, whatever you want to call it. It literally took 2.5 minutes to cook. The only reason it took us this long to make is because I had technical difficulties. So you can see the eggs are light and fluffy. Look how much is in there. That's like, a huge amount for breakfast. And so what I normally do is I serve this with, some kind of fruit. This has already got, it's probably got 2 servings worth of, Suzanne, don't tell my husband it's been hot there too. He wants to come to Canada. He wants to go to Canada, and as far as I've been to Canada, it's just over the border. So I'm just telling him it's cool at this time of year. We'll just let him go with that. But anyway, this probably already has, gosh, if it doesn't have 2 servings of vegetables in it, it's at least a serving of vegetables. So the way that I've made this one, you have at least a serving of vegetables. You've got one egg, an eighth of a one egg, an eighth of a cup of egg whites. And again, I prefer the Trader Joe's egg whites, but they did not have them this time. You've got 1 tablespoon of real bacon pieces or bits, and I used the kind from Costco. It's Kirkland brand, real crumbled bacon. They also have it at Sam's. Sam's is the Hormel brand. You know, you can get it at the store, but the reason I buy it at Costco is because you get like a cat food size bag of it for $6.99 or $7.99. 1 tablespoon of fat-free ricotta cheese if you're lucky enough to live around a Trader Joe's. If you're not lucky enough to live near a Trader Joe's, try to get some light ricotta cheese. If you don't find light ricotta cheese, the original way I made the recipe was with 1 wedge of Swiss light Laughing Cow cheese, and that adds 1 smart point, which is not bad, and it's creamy and it's yummy. The only thing you have to do is kind of break it up a little bit before you put it in there, or it'll end up in one just like clump in the bowl. But if you can't find the fat-free ricotta cheese, don't worry. I would just switch it back to the Laughing Cow light, and go ahead and use that. And just remember to add 1 point though. And then for today's I used baby spinach, portobello mushrooms, and diced tomatoes. Of course, those have 0 points. That's it. They're really easy to make, and I hope everybody will try one. And I don't really know what else to talk about. So, any questions? Are there any questions? There's like 8 of you now. That's very exciting. So y'all have any questions before I go? Otherwise, I'm going to say bye and let my husband back in. Because I don't know, he's outside somewhere. He's hiding. I will admit to y'all, though, today, I had already gotten my 10,000 steps in by like noon, but it's because we walked this morning, but then we walked over to an event in downtown Knoxville. We have what used to be our World's Fair site. If you've never been here, we have this lovely giant sun sphere globe as a reminder. But one of the local churches here put on an event today, and we walked down and we ate off the food trucks today. So, the total smart points, let's see, it was for the way I made it is 3. So the total smart points on the way I made this one today is 3. Total SP was what? So that was 3 smart points. It's also 3 points plus. And I don't know, Suzanne, if you're still there, if it didn't have bacon in it, would that be simply filling if it didn't have bacon in it? I'm trying to think what else is in that. Oh, Marilee, you're very welcome. I've had fun. But the food trucks, I was going to admit, I had mahi-mahi sliders for lunch, so yeah. So I won't be eating this egg mug until tonight. So any other questions? I think it would be simply filling if any of y'all are doing that. If you took the bacon out, or you could do simply filling and just add. I guess it would be a point for the bacon. So okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go. And if you all enjoyed this, please let me know. I mean, seriously, please give me some feedback because I love talking to people. Let's see, it would be simply filling, and you could switch the bacon for, So, in case y'all don't know, Suzanne is like our simply filling queen in our group here. And I'm not trying to sign her up for extra work, but she knows like everything. So Suzanne suggested, and see, I didn't even think of this, that's why she's the Simply Filling Queen. She said it would be Simply Filling, but if you wanted to, you could switch the bacon for extra lean ham or Canadian or black back bacon. You're definitely from Canada. Anyway, and then it would be back to Simply Filling. But anyway, so seriously, I love talking to people. And so if y'all did like this, thank you, Lisa. If y'all did enjoy this, if it was helpful at all, I'd like to continue doing it. So please, really, give me some feedback. Let me know. And thank you all. Thank you very much. I guess I'm going to go ahead and go. Bye. Thank you. I'll see you next time.